Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed that time of the day. You are tuned into right now, The Buzz, and this is Relax Radio with your two hosts, Kings and Tim. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you a real quick question. Imagine what it must feel like to sit in a boardroom of members of virtual and augmented reality. Imagine what it must be like. Loads of money flying around, a lot of technology, loads of goggles. You couldn't imagine any other different. Imagine the owner. Imagine what his household must be like. Goggles all over his house. Maybe he runs everything via technology. We'll never know, will we? Ladies and gentlemen, you're tuned into another episode of not just technology, but entrepreneurships, business, and finances. So kick back, relax, get those earphones in, and sit back and listen to what we have to tell you.
Yeah, exactly. Now, just talking to, just adding to your question, right? I'm also thinking, but like, yeah, now to just adding to what you're saying,
Yeah.
but
I think Tim's got a bit of giggles today.
to basically add on, to what you were saying. Yeah, being in the boardroom, this stuff must be honestly like, okay, let's say for example, if you're selling, Rolls Royce, right? And if you are in a showroom, this, and let's say you're in the board of, Rolls Royce and things like that. It would be such a mandatory thing for you, like, going around from office to your home in a Rolls Royce, getting driven around would be a big deal. But to some people it is like, to some people it's yeah, to some people, I mean, like us, it would be, it's not normal, at least, right? But what I'm saying is, okay, let's say let's say hypothetically, if you actually increase the usage, it can come to that point, but the supply, but would it be that special? So, when you're talking about AR and VR, when the developers and all of them, it's like they have to use it as a job and they have to work on improving it. They have to work on how it can, they have to come up with ideas on how it can integrate different applications or different industries, things like that, right? So, just like you said, it must be, I mean, just to imagine what it would be like for them, they're probably used to, they're probably aware of the potential or the possibilities, and they're just hunting different industries and trying to understand, okay, what can we do with this industry? What can we do with that industry? Just like that couple we spoke about, that are, revolutionizing the services industry, right?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're tuned in on The Buzz. It's DJ Kings and Tim. We are with you till 3 p.m. today, just talking about everything business, tech, entrepreneurship. You know what it is. Make sure you get comfortable, just like King said. And yeah, we'll be running into a quick couple of videos to show you who we are. And we'll be right back. We're talking about AR and how ByteDance, that's also the TikTok, it's the TikTok company basically, and how they've actually acquired a VR headset maker. And they've received, I mean, Ride, right? Ride is the name of the company. That's RYD. And they've received a £10 million investment from BP Ventures. So yeah, let's talk about it. We'll be breaking it down. We'll be talking about the possibilities, what we think of it. Make sure you comment on the video and just let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know what you think the industry can shift onto. The sponsors of the show are Nanaska by SEMA. Make sure you check them out. We'll be showing you a quick video of who they are. We'll be right back with you. Good afternoon.
Are you looking to achieve the most relevant qualification to kickstart your career? Then reward yourself with the best globally recognized professional business qualification, SEMA. Irrespective of the field you aspire to succeed in, a SEMA qualification can add immense value to your resume and professional life. Succeed in your SEMA journey with supportive tuition provided by qualified lecturers and resources. Nanaska is the leading registered SEMA tuition provider in Sri Lanka with over a decade in the industry and hundreds of success stories. With qualified and certified tutors, Nanaska now provides easy access 100% virtual classes so that you could succeed at your exams and in life right from the comfort of your home. At Nanaska, it's not just about a qualification. We help you think out of the box and build a personality. Exciting offers also await students overseas. Enroll now. Call +94 77 499 7338 or visit www.nanaska.com. Commence your SEMA journey at Nanaska and become a globally recognized leader. Nanaska, smile with results.
So coming back to the conversation of AR, Kings, where do we start now? Do we start with TikTok or the potential of where these guys are going? Because we're talking not just the whole industry, not just where the industry could start off with, but where it's looking at going and what we're actually to expect. So in today's Exchange Wire News Digest, right? ByteDance says that they are to acquire a Chinese VR headset maker. This is Pico. It's spelled Pico, right? And the German in-car payment systems provider. This is Ride, and they've spoken about a 10 million euro investment from BP Ventures, and the team behind the subscription-based social network. These guys are called Substack. Now, ByteDance acquired the VR company Pico. But when you're talking about being optimistic about the future, talking about having the alignments in terms of their missions, mission statements, and things like that, I'm thinking, the whole industry can basically move along the lines of. The whole industry can move along in the lines of pushing the industry to the next level. I mean, you're talking about this. These decisions aren't put out on paper or on PR until a ton of negotiating agreements on where the companies are going. What these acquisitions are for and things like that, right? Because it's a lot of people's lives that are actually coming into a common goal or an agreement. So when we're talking about the being best known for their prodigious the short form video app, this is TikTok basically, right? Now the Jangweo Pro, this is the smartphone that had launched in 2019. These guys had made a massive move towards the gaming market. Now, the gaming market is also actually a pretty big market, right? I mean, you've got streamers, you've got people streaming on TikTok as well. And, what they do is, what's that game you play with the, man, I sound like an uncle. Oh my gosh. You get it's called Forza, right? So you have Forza and, So you set the joystick and sometimes you can stick the steering wheel to it. So what people do is they actually you have the big screen in front, you have the steering wheel here, you have the paddles and all that, and you have your phone that is recording you on live. And what people do is they just stream themselves playing the game, or it goes to that level, and people actually see a lot more interaction on on TikTok more than YouTube sometimes, because YouTube has a lot of information going out, and getting organic exposure is not the easiest thing. So I mean, there is quite a big investment going on and attention going on into the whole gaming industry. And another fun fact, China has actually banned their minors, this is I think less than 18 years old, to just 3 hours of gaming a week. So so if you're under 18 in China, you can have only 3 hours of gaming a week.
Do you know what?
So that's like that's like taking away your that's like taking away part of your childhood, right? Like, what the hell?
Like, do you know what? Let's talk about that. I want to know if that's a good or bad thing, because you, children have been, so it's a law. Would you say it's a law in China that if you are under the age of 18, you're only allowed to be exposed to 3 hours of gaming per week?
Exactly.
Do you know how
I mean,
crazy that is? That's not just per day, that's just per week.
yeah, exactly. I mean, you're talking about, the whole gaming industry is just booming, right? Like, you
Yeah.
got millions of people, in the smallest economies. I can guarantee you that there's, even in the States, in Europe, there's gaming competitions that are going on for, millions of dollars. And
Mm,
then, there's so much of concentration. VR, AR, different platforms, different, parties getting sponsored,
yeah.
hardware and software companies sponsoring these events. And
Mm,
on the other side, you have China that is not really, that they're actually limiting their miners getting online, and they're limiting their miners actually playing the games, or gaming at all, down to just
yeah.
3 hours a week.
Yeah. I, d- I don't know. I feel like, okay, I can see the good out of it, but then I can also see the bad out of it. So, what side do you feel like I should start with first? Should I go with the
Start with
good
the
or the
good.
bad?
I'd start with the good. I mean, go with the good. Yeah.
Okay, so in terms of China, we know how very educated they like to have, every single person. They like to make sure that they're very educated. We know that China do inhabit a lot of some of the smartest people in the world, along with, obviously, we'll find smart people everywhere, but in China is, particularly known that they are very good whenever it comes to education. So, with that being said, I guess, boiling it down to the fact that it's just 3 hours a week of gaming, I understand that gives them more opportunity to be able to focus on, being able to study, work on their academics, but then it also exposes them to the, outside, being able to understand what is there outside rather than just being cooped up inside of a bedroom, playing your games on a screen and, never leaving the house, never seeing sunlight, things like that. Because as you know, people that love to play games will only tie themselves down to just the bedroom and never go outside. So I understand the good out of it. I understand why they do it. Now the bad, as we had already mentioned, it's a part of our childhood. It's literally a part of our childhood to be able to play games, be able to play with friends, get onto parties and just talk to each other over the mic, Bluetooth mics and everything, just to genuinely have fun. And then, as you get older, and then you start to talk with your friends to think back to the days of, these games that were out when we were this age and that age, so it's like,
Good. This was a part
yeah,
of our childhood. When I say, a part of our childhood, we used to, I mean, if it was not streaming and playing together after school, right?
yeah,
um you probably played a mission, or you probably did a couple of races in, underground or most wanted, or
mm,
some need for speed game, and then you went to school the next day and you spoke about it with your friends, right? I
yeah, yeah,
mean, this was a whole conversation in school as well. Now,
exactly.
when my question is, right, when the whole gaming industry is on its, it's we thought it was at a peak, but now it's going even further. uh, why is China limiting? Why are they going the other way around? When you look at, even the Paralympics, the
Mm,
Olympics,
mm,
in terms of these sports, they have prioritized. They it's like they, I don't know. It's like they grow these children from, um, you know, 3 to 5 years old just to play this particular sport. It's like they train them from these ages, right?
yeah,
And if you look at the stats, they are marginally the dominant country that, get the amount of the most records for
yeah,
medals.
yeah.
But I mean, I'm just wondering why are they taking gaming down so much? But again, it's probably to prioritize, or give more way to everyone that's over 18 years old, right?
True, which is true. Another reason why I say it isn't really the best idea is because of the fact that um, with gaming and that being a part of our childhood, it kind of takes away some of the, the joys of being able to understand what it feels like to game. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure that when you mentioned like being able to play a game one day and then talk about it with your friends the next day when you come to school, like I'm pretty sure you've played Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you remember the what's it, Modern Warfare 2, there's a specific map that everybody loves to play, and everyone will always come in the next day talking about it and say, yeah, listen, this evening we have to play here, and then we always talk about it, win or lose. It's like, oh my gosh, these are the types of memories that we think back on when when we get a bit older and then start to think about how much gaming has changed. This is the sort of thing that's being taken away from, the younger kids. And most importantly, why I do have to ask the question as to why China have turned the other way. Because one thing I feel like they need to understand that about gaming is that China, we know, are very economically rich, or they are just
They're
very well
not just
economically.
rich, they're very smart as well. I
Exactly.
think the smartest economy, smartest country, hands down.
Yes, exactly. And they're also very well economically minded. So one thing we always know about China is the fact that they are very capable of, we never know what they're doing. We always know that they're always up to something, and sometimes no one will ever be able to understand the moves that they make or the type of choices the paths that they chose that they choose to walk down. So with them choosing to say that they've banned kids from the age of 18 and below, or just kids under 18, they've only kept them to 3 hours a week of gaming. It makes you think, so what is the plan behind this? Because the gaming industry is very, very rich. The gaming industry,
Exactly.
and
There's
with
so
the
much of
addition,
money there. I
yeah,
mean, there has to be some type of motive behind all this,
that's what I'm thinking.
limitation.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is even with the addition of VR and AR, it's only going to make the gaming industry, along with the VR industry, boom.
My
So
point. Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is such a big question. Like, I've just been wondering about, why. I've just been wondering why the whole week. So,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, coming back to understanding where we are going as gamers, or content creators or consumers in whatever market, we'll
yeah.
be breaking down the rest of the story after a quick break, where going into a quick couple of videos on Relax Radio just to show you who we are. And we'll be right back. This is DJ Kings and Tim on the Buzz. Good afternoon.
It gives them something to look at, and it makes them laugh. It makes them laugh, so that's why I do it. Oh, and it could be a really good pickup line as well. Ladies who ask, "Hey, excuse me, so why are you wearing something so colorful?" I mean, hey, you can you can always have something up on your sleeve. I mean, got me thinking. You want to stand out. Why do you want to stand out though so much, especially with these kind of shirts when you're riding? There must be a purpose behind it, right?
Well, when you say a purpose, Nick, what I do, I wear the shirts mainly because they're nice and bright, so they make me visible, especially if I'm riding on the road.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's very important, right? Because you want cars, yeah.
Very important. And also, like, people see me in like calves, and perhaps I shouldn't be saying this on here, I suppose, but in the bar afterwards.
All right.
And it gives them something to look at, and it makes them laugh. It makes them laugh, so that's why I do it.
Oh, and it could be a really good pickup line as well. Ladies who ask, "Hey, excuse me, so why are you wearing something so colorful?" I mean, hey, you can always have something up on your sleeve. I mean, you look like a guy who would do.
You know me too well. You know me too well, Nick.
Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, is there a bit of an increased volume?
Back at it again. Yeah. Go ahead, Kings. That's yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, how are you enjoying the music? Ladies and gentlemen, we are back from the break, and you are back tuned in to The Buzz with your two favorite hosts, DJ Kings and Tim. And this is Relax Radio, where we were going straight into the conversation of China and why they have chosen to withdraw from the gaming industry.
I mean, I wouldn't technically say that. I'd say I would say they've pulled back from the gaming industry. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of gaming going on inside. I mean, you have 1 billion people in that continent. They're smartest. I think they're at least one of the most smart economies, hands down, and countries. And looking at that opportunity, I wouldn't really. I wouldn't say that they're stopping the gaming industry, but if you're below 18, if you're below 18, I mean, it's only this restriction is only for below 18 or minors, but man, that's still such a big difference, right?
Yeah, it is a bummer. And one thing I will say is, although as gamers, I know gamers tend to spend a lot of money on games. As you know, they love to spend a lot of money on gadgets to be able to make gaming a lot easier, maybe a lot more comfortable, things like that. One thing we cannot absolutely deny is that the one time there are big spenders in gamers is whenever you're spending money to buy games for kids or just people under the age of 18. So that bracket, although very understood, it's like you're kind of taking away something that's going to benefit being able to push, the whole agenda of being able to game forward. And it also kind of helps with, not just economically wise, but it also helps with being able to have that sense of relation to other people, if you understand what I mean. Maybe that's more of a personal trait rather than an actual beneficial trait, just on a grand scheme of things. But I still stand by what I said, and I feel as though it does have some cons which do kind of outweigh the pros, especially with the whole, the merging of gaming industry and VR industry / AR. Because as far as anything is concerned, we are definitely stepping into a new technological era. We have seen so many different things, such as virtual reality for PlayStation, which we have witnessed multiple times before, over GTA, over Star Wars, everything like that. But now, we're now starting to be able to control things from just from the sight of our eyes. As in, we can have Spotify playlists just on one side. We can have maybe the internet open on the other side. Then we could just probably have like a schedule of things we need to do right in front of us and close things just like Tony Stark, as you always like to compare.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's Tony Stark. I mean, it's Tony Stark or it's the Star Wars. I mean, I'm not sure if Star Trek really uses as much VR or AR kind of interactions in the movies, do they? But Yeah. These are, I think, the most relatable examples I can use, right?
Yeah, 100. Yeah, so far I definitely could agree with that. I definitely could agree with that.
I mean,
But
there must be more. There for sure are more movies that use these, features and things like that. But I'm just talking about what almost everyone has watched.
in fact, even not just movies, but as we are speaking on the topic of games and things that will definitely benefit whenever it comes to using VR, I believe there is one particular game which I know that I've seen used a lot of times when it comes to demonstrating how to use VR or AR, and that would be Mirror's Edge. And I feel as though you have heard of it before. It's like a
Mirror's
parkour
Edge.
game. Yeah, it's a parkour game, and it's first person, which is the crazy part. So it's first person, and it shows you as the said protagonist of the game jumping from building to building and fighting bad guys and stuff like that, escaping gunfire, all sorts of stuff. It's pretty crazy, actually. It's pretty crazy, and even from the point of view from VR, it's even more crazy. This is the reason why we've ended up with so many broken TVs, because there's a point of which, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's always a point of which where somebody's meant to skydive or jump down, and
Oh
people
yeah,
break through the
exactly.
TVs. Yeah, so yeah, so literally we can see how powerful, we can see just how powerful VR is whenever it comes to things like
It's that
games.
convincing, right?
Yeah, yeah. And even seeing as we are even still on the topic of VR as well, there is even an arcade game where it's Mario Kart. They've got an arcade game for Mario Kart where you're able to, you put on the goggles and now you're sat in the game looking around. You can see
Dude, how
Bowser on one
awesome is
side.
that, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's going to dates will be different.
yeah.
Hanging out with your friends will be different. All you have to do is just go on into a store or a supermarket, and I'm just saying, man. All you do is just the whole experience will be different. You can, and even if now you just spoke about Mario Kart, right? But what if it's something you can do the bowling or the Wii kind of stuff, from home itself. But what else I'm talking about is if these roller coaster rides, right? So you have the seat in the arcade, you have like the roller coaster seats in the arcade, and the seat just moves towards whichever direction, and you're experiencing something else while you're wearing the goggles. You get what
Of
I'm saying?
course. Of course, yeah. I completely understand what you're saying. So, as you have the whole spacing and everything. You feel the shaking, but because of the fact that you're wearing the goggles, and you may even be potentially wearing headphones, so that it kind of immerses you in that whole, oh my goodness, I'm in a roller coaster. And you see, the reason why those are such good experiences is because of the experience it provides whilst you're inside. So some will give you that wind to blow you back as you're going down. Some will probably provide a bit of that spray of water whenever you're going down the whole roller coaster, and then you feel the splash from each side.
Exactly.
It does, however it chooses to do it, they do it.